She was
Oh
getting
boy.
ready. She was getting ready for. Oh, hello, everybody.
Good morning. I killed sound because
Yeah, I was in the middle of a story that he wasn't sure was appropriate or not. Totally get it.
you know it's pretty bad, but I'm like, oh, maybe I better not put this on the air.
He's like, I don't know if this should hear this, but I guess I could surprise you once in a while.
Hey, I get surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is Wednesday again, guys.
Wednesday again.
We are now into April 5th.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God, April 1st is over. This was a horrendous April 1st.
You need a little bit louder.
There were several people that put
Yeah.
stuff up online, April Fool's jokes that
We're not funny.
no, they weren't. They weren't funny, and there was one guy that I follow him. I don't agree with him politically, but I follow him anyway because there's no way to get a full. There's no way to get the truth at all if you go on one side or the other. You've got to get through a bunch of stuff. And he put out a video talking about, I've been canceled and they're shutting us down and it's so bad the toilets don't even flush. I missed that, by the way. That was a giveaway, but he sits there deadpan the whole time.
Yeah.
And he had people calling in like crazy saying, oh my God, whatever it takes, is there anything I can do to help to keep you on the air? And he's like, and apparently one of the other YouTube guys got a hold of him and says, I'm getting messages asking me if there's anything I can do to help you.
It was good.
It was not a funny joke, and it came across as way too real.
Yeah. Riverbend Hot Springs did a great one. They posted stating that due to new regulations, because they're so close to the Rio Grande, any of their patrons that are soaking in their tubs must now wear a life jacket in all pools.
That's great.
And I thought that was funny because then you lead the hashtags Riverbend Hot Springs, hashtag so, and then all of a sudden hashtag April Fool's Day. And that's how you got it. I'm like, okay. But the problem is it was out there, but not by much, because let's face it, the way things are going, that didn't seem too far off.
Oh no. And I think the best one, everybody knows I'm a big old nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I have been an active member of Starfleet International.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the International Star Trek Fan Club. It's the original Star Trek fan club.
Right.
That was started by the people who actually started the letter writing campaign to bring Star Trek back onto the air after it was canceled after season 2, the original series.
Yeah.
This is the pedigree of this organization.
Okay.
There was one chapter of this group, because a bunch of these chapters, we would have websites for our chapters, which are referred to as ships. And they took their entire website offline and replaced it with one saying, "We've left the Federation. We've now joined the United Soviet Space Force," and they changed everything to Russian insignia, and they took pictures. They had uniforms made up, special different uniforms just for that. They took pictures. They changed everything. Everything was different. All the content on the page was different, and they kept it up for one day and took it back down. And it was the best I've ever seen. I mean, it's a ton of work, and at the same time, oh my God, it was brilliant. And people couldn't stop looking at it. Nobody was happy when they took it back down. They said, "Well, we want to see more of it," so they actually had to create another page. To put it up so people could look at it.
That's funny.
Because it was one of those things that people were just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. There was there's one April Fool's joke that goes down every year now for the last like 3 or 4 years, and it's an announcement that In-N-Out is coming to Las Cruces.
Yeah, I saw that, and I got caught by that one.
The first time I got caught by it. That's cruel to us California transplants. That's cruel. That's mean. My wife saw it a couple days later. Yesterday she saw it and she posted it to me. She goes, "Hey, look at this!" And I went, "Oh yeah." And I told her. She goes, "Oh, I'm so disappointed."
Really?
For us, yeah, because we loved In-N-Out. We grew up, out in California. That was, Okay. I went there at least once a week.
Cool. I'm glad that. Okay, this is good, because I have a question about that.
Okay.
Because I've had In-N-Out.
Yeah.
When I visited my sister in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, let me see the nice way to put it without putting any profanity. Um, what was the big deal about it that you liked?
It was different the way they made it, and their fries are totally different. They're the only
Okay.
place we knew that made real potato fries. I pulled up there
Oh,
and you
okay.
watch them slice the potatoes and put them right into the fry. I mean,
Okay, I can see
and
that.
there was something about their burgers were just there was something different about them. They were so
Okay.
good.
I understand the fries thing. The fries were really
Yeah.
good. The
I enjoy the
burger
burger.
didn't impress me much, and I'm wondering also if maybe that's the case of it's if you went to an In-N-Out burger today, maybe you wouldn't be as impressed.
Right.
Because I've come across that. We used to have a Silver Streak here, and Silver Streak are amazing burgers.
Really.
Okay, let me correct that. Silver Streak were amazing burgers.
Yeah, because I never heard of them.
This place opened here. I was so excited. I went and got a burger.
Yeah.
It was soggy and awful.
Oh man.
And I give them a while to get that. Maybe they don't have the hang of it yet.
Yeah.
I went back and tried again. It was soggy and awful.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
It's funny. They built an In-N-Out in Simi Valley where I lived, and it was finally like everybody was going there. But a lot of people, the place was packed when you went, but a lot of people said you got to wait a couple weeks.
Yeah. I'm listening. I'm going to go run and grab something real quick.
The reason why they said that was that the grill was brand new. You can't have a brand new grill because it's got to be seasoned with the grease of doing it. So a lot of people said that they went right away, but yet they noticed a difference later, that it was better later. But the thing is, you're going to In-N-Out. Tommy's was a place in California. There's a place called Tommy's, and it's a chili cheeseburger. And
Ooh,
oh
that
my
sounds
gosh,
good.
they were so good.
Okay, maybe it's because it's so early and I haven't eaten.
I know, me too. Greasy as all hell, but that's the place that my wife and I went to. The day we got married, we had 2 receptions. Well, the first reception, we had 2 receptions because people that lived close or lived from a distance and, didn't, so we had a short reception, and then we had one planned for like in between, half an hour in between. And then, the first reception ended a lot earlier. And my brand new wife was hungry, and the friend of ours comes over and says, "Your wife?" And I went, "Oh, here we go. Starting already." She's hungry. We had like an hour. She goes, she wants to go. She wants to eat. And I said, "Okay, what does she want?" She goes, "She wants Tommy's." But she doesn't want us to go get. She wants to go over there and get it.
Right.
She wants to get out. So there's a picture. We got to find it somewhere. There's a CD with a picture of my wife sitting in Tommy's in her wedding dress, eating a chili cheeseburger, a big old cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then that was the day that, as we were leaving, all of us were still in our wedding dress. The kids were in their dresses. My son was in his suit. I was in my suit, and my wife was in her dress. And there were people out this gorgeous Harley.
Mm.
And as we walked out, we looked at them, and they were surprised, and we told them what was going on. They're like, "Oh, it's great." And I said, "Wow, that is beautiful." And he goes, "You guys want to take a picture with it?" And so there's pictures of my wife and I on this Harley. So it was so cool.
Cool.
But yeah, that's another California place. It's only in California. The closest one is Bakersfield. And it was one where Tommy's, it's like they weren't very busy the first 2 days.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 days later that everybody started going, because that was a definitely had to go after it's seasoned the grill. So
yeah. Well, I did research the whole In-N-Out burger thing because I was like, I don't recognize that picture. In-N-Out burger is coming. It's coming to Albuquerque. So
is it really?
Yeah. So there's a picture of the site that they're building on. They've got a big sign coming soon.
Okay.
But it's coming to Albuquerque. So there is going to be an In-N-Out burger there, which is good, because apparently a lot of restaurants this past couple of weeks got shut down by the health department.
No way.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. By the way, one of them that did not get touched, good place, Twisters. We used to have a Twisters here. They're talking about maybe bringing one back. I would love to see that. Real good burrito place.
Oh, okay.
Big loaded burritos with that's smothered in either green or red chili or mixed.
Right.
Really good. Or you can get their fries drenched like that. And by the way, one of the best fast food burgers I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah. And they don't even do burgers as their main thing.
Oh.
But their burgers are nice and juicy and cooked well. I had a hard time eating the burritos because I tried the burger once, and oh my god!
Okay, yeah. That's cool.
But we've got that. What we do have here now, I know because, well, I got the inside scoop on restaurants anymore.
That's true.
I make up I would like to say I make up the income I don't bring in playing, but the truth is, I bring in most of my income from Uber Eats,
Yeah.
and I've gotten the hang of it pretty well.
Cool.
I made a delivery this past weekend to from a restaurant that as soon as I walked in, they're like, "Yeah, this is our first order like this." Really? Yeah, we've only been open like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, used to be a food truck, El Charro here in
Wow.
town.
Okay.
It used to be a food truck. They now have a restaurant over on El Paseo. It's 1160 El Paseo, Suite 13. It's that big long
Yeah.
shopping center behind the Long John Silver's on
Ah,
El
okay.
Paseo. Um, yeah, family owned business. They transitioned from a food truck to a restaurant. Uh, Authentic Mexican food. Just the stuff that they list out here: tacos, tortas, hamburgers,
Okay.
quesadillas, burritos, enchiladas, seafood, caldos, menudo. I got to give their menudo a
Yeah,
try.
exactly.
You know how I am about menudo.
Uh-huh.
Pozole, which by the way they spell with a Z, which is
Oh,
like
okay.
okay. Salads, flautas, fajitas, tamales, steaks, and charro beans. Which
Cool.
with the name they kind of have to have those.
Absolutely.
So yeah, they're open 8 to 8 Monday through Saturday. Um, if you want to place an order, you can do that online or through their number. Their number is 575-323-3699. But they're also up on the Uber Eats
Oh,
app.
that's
So
cool.
yeah, I took a delivery up there, and it smells really good in there.
Oh, good.
They were just about to close when I went to pick up the order, but really nice people. The guy sat there and he talked to me a little bit while we're waiting for the order to finish,
Mhm.
and yeah, incredibly nice people. And I'm gonna go back and try them out. I didn't have a chance to check them out, but cool, very cool. And I'm sorry, there are some people that'll sit there and say, "Oh, last thing we need is another Mexican restaurant in this town." No,
Yeah, no.
we need as many Mexican restaurants as possible because the way you are with hamburgers,
Yeah.
that's me with tacos.
Yeah. I mean, we tried when we first moved here, we tried several because it was fun.
Oh yeah,
And it's not that, and none of them were bad. It's just, it wasn't our style.
hmm
And, we just found some that we liked more than others, but we didn't have one that we said, "Oh God, I don't think I could eat there again."
right.
We said, "You know what? It was good, but I kind of like this better,"
And they're
kind of
all a little
thing.
bit different.
Yeah, they're all different.
I,
That's what freaked me out.
oh yeah, um, yeah. And you figure out what you like at those places
Oh
as you
yeah.
go.
And then you feel
There's
like it's like, "Oh, we feel like this kind of burrito." Then we go here. If we need tacos, we go here.
yeah, oh yeah, and you figure it out as you go along,
Yeah.
and yeah,
But you got to try most of them before you can do that.
yeah, and we've got great restaurants
Oh
here.
yeah. The food here is amazing.
But this one just stuck out, and I was
That's
like, I better
cool.
mention that to people because they're brand new.
And the cool thing is that it's a food truck. That means they did so good that
Yeah.
the food truck wasn't enough.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And we've had a few that I would love to have seen transition. We've only had a couple of food trucks who transitioned to
Yeah.
restaurants in this town. There was one that I loved called Chongo Burger. That, as far as I can tell, they are gone.
Oh man.
I haven't been able to get a hold of anybody from them,
Yeah.
but man, their burgers were so good.
Yeah.
Their regular burger was so good, and then the stuff they put on the burgers was amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I mean, got messy as I'll get out after a while, but
I know.
oh man, yeah, they would take and pour hot queso with green chili inside their burger, and yeah, you better eat it pretty quick because it sogged up after a bit. Because
Yeah.
that queso got everywhere. But yeah, I thought this was kind of a cool thing.
That's very cool.
So
it's great when you see, success like that,
oh yeah,
to where it's like, gosh, we can't do this anymore. We can't do the truck anymore. We have to.
yeah, and you never know when something like that is gonna get off of that screen. You never know when something like that's gonna kind of hit, and to make that move. To change your business over is a scary thing.
Yeah.
But it's something that needs to be done. Occasionally, you got to just hop up and say, "Now's the time."
Yeah.
And that's what they did. So I'm going to check them out. I would recommend that everybody that's listening, if you get a chance, check these people out. It's I think they're gonna do well. I was really impressed. Um, there is somebody I'm looking to get on the show.
Mhm.
Derek Gallegos has started a record label called Overlook Records, and I just want to
Yeah,
point some of this out.
that's cool.
I don't know what sort of music they're going to be focusing on, or if anything, but they are looking to record, do interviews with the artists, distribute and set up shows for them.
Mhm.
They do have a show on the 22nd. We'll get to all the events going on, but April
Yeah.
22nd, Saturday, um, they're going to be playing over on Mitchell Circle, 7520 Mitchell Circle. I'm not sure where exactly
Mhm.
this is.
Right.
But Glum is one of the bands. I haven't heard of them, but the
Okay.
other band, not only have I heard of, I've heard them play
Oh,
15 minutes into tomorrow.
okay.
A bunch of young guys. When I saw them, they were a little rough, but who knows where they are, because this was months and months back.
Yeah,
This was actually about halfway through last year that I heard them. So very likely they've improved, and that's always a good thing.
that is really cool.
So this is and apparently there's another. I'm hearing about another recording studio that's opened up. Um, recording company. I don't know that it's an actual studio. The nice thing is you don't need studios like
Yeah,
old day thoughts. It's not the same sort of thing anymore, which is
yeah,
kind of cool. Yeah, things change as you go along, which is
big
neat.
time. I mean, it's just it's like it's. I remember listening to Ace Frehley talk about when he did his Origins album.
Hmm.
He recorded all the music for the song "Fire and Water" that he and Paul Stanley wanted to do together. Well, he's in California. Paul Stanley's in, or they're both in California. Just couldn't get their schedule. So Ace Frehley emailed the MP3
Hmm.
to Paul. Paul took it to his studio in his house,
Yeah.
recorded his vocals, and sent it back to him.
Yeah.
And Ace mastered it, and it sounds amazing.
And the thing is, now you don't need to necessarily have to do it separate like that. You
Yeah.
can get online and do it together simultaneously as
Yeah.
well.
Didn't AC/DC do a concert over the COVID, and
Mhm.
all of them were in separate locations, but
Mhm.
they did it together, and it sounded really cool.
Yeah, and there's a group. It's basically an online Irish music university that they've got a bunch of courses online. Some are free, some are through
Yeah.
paid programs, but they put out videos every once in a while of people around the world. They'll pick a song and everybody gets together and plays it together.
Yeah.
And they'll have multiple windows on their video screen
Yeah.
showing all these people playing together. And there's somebody in middle America, there's somebody in Ireland, there's somebody in Germany, there's somebody there's a girl playing tin whistle in Kyoto, Japan.
Oh, wow.
So it's all over the place.
That's cool.
Yeah, tech is getting cool,
Yeah.
and thank God for tech, because I'm going to get to experience this side of tech here very soon.
Yes.
I'm about to go in with Dallas David Ochoa,
Uh-huh.
and we're going to start recording some of my music. I don't know what that entails. Basically, he told me, says, "Yeah, you want to start next Monday? Okay." I says, "You tell me what I need to do, what I need to bring, because I don't know what you're planning. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
doing. If you mention a word, I don't know necessarily what it means.
Yep.
But I'm there. I'm going to put myself completely in your hands. I trust him. So which is a huge thing, I think.
Yeah.
I've had some people that have suggested other people to do recording. I've had a couple people that have gotten a little almost offended
Yeah.
that I'm not using their guy or their girl.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't think it's a matter for offense, and I'm not, it's not a matter of not liking this person or thinking that they're good at what they do.
Right.
It takes more than that, including it takes a feel.
Yeah.
I am going to have to message her.
Okay. There's yeah, they've been talking about doing that for a while because you've written so much music. It's really awesome how much music you've got. So when Dallas has been kind of getting on you about it. to try and get together and do something about putting it down. So that's really cool that you've gotten the chance, finally gotten to the point where you're going to do that.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool, and I've been trying not to obsess too much, but I have made some changes to some of my songs,
Mhm.
and I probably will continue to until we actually start it. Okay, I got a message from someone that she's been sick, and just making sure she's okay, because yeah, she forgot that we're doing the show right now. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, she's sick, so she didn't go into work the last couple of days,
Oh man.
and yeah, she forgot that we do the show this morning. So I will give her a call later. But yeah, so that's wow. We kind of got off onto a weird tangent,
That's cool though. We
but
do that.
yeah, and you were talking about doing some of your music getting recorded, and if
Yeah.
nothing else, maybe I'll talk you into letting me try.
Okay.
Because what you want to do is way simple.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into production. I just kind of want to do it a simple acoustic voice. That's it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and I already mix you anyway. I've
yeah,
mixed
he's done
you
that for
several
me already.
times. So.
Yeah, so that's it. It'd be cool.
I enjoyed this past weekend before last.
Weekend before last, yeah.
You had a problem with your sound system that went down,
It
so
died.
I brought mine out for you to use
Yeah.
over at the NM Vintage, and I basically just sat back in a chair and visiting with some strangers,
Yeah,
which is always
was
strange for me.
really cool.
And I sat there and I adjusted you up, so
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, we'll try that.
Yeah.
Just
I enjoy doing a little bit of mixing, but yeah, I can't do like these fancy guys do, especially if you're adding a bunch of instruments and stuff,
yeah.
which is what we're looking at doing apparently. We'll see.
With your music, I think that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, you need. I don't know. I don't think you. Do you need it? I don't know, but it would work. With mine, I think mine's just too simple to really add a whole lot.
I don't know.
I kind of like the way mine. I don't know. I wanted to keep it simple and just.
And the bottom line, it comes down to what you want and what feels right.
Yeah, because then I'll be better at playing it.
Oh yeah.
So.
By the way, just to point this out, that's kind of meaningless to us because we don't celebrate it. But Happy Passover.
Oh, actually,
so,
yeah, it's something a lot of Christians, because I'm Christian, but we recognize it when we talk about it. But yeah, Passover is a big day, big in the Catholic community.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a very important day,
and especially in the Jewish community.
Yeah, yeah,
even bigger than the Catholic.
Yeah, it's very important. So this is a big time of year for when you talk about Easter coming up, and we try to call it Resurrection Day because that's really what it is.
And I have observed Passover, and I've observed Rosh Hashanah. I've observed several of the Jewish holidays, and tell you what, until you've observed the Jewish ceremonies, you're not quite getting the full picture.
No, there's nothing like it.
It's intense.
We went to a Seder once. That it was very intense. We were invited. Our church was invited by this Jewish temple group, and they invited us to it, and they said, you're welcome to come and experience it, and it was a major experience. It was really
for culture that's used to a meal means sitting down and having a meal.
Yeah,
this is not having a meal.
There's every part of it is symbolic and meaningful, and you start to think, wow, it was really, really neat. So yeah, and I did a religious studies course when I was when I was going through college, and it was really interesting to go through all of those and to see different things and to, just have a good understanding. My son wanted to go to as many different churches as he could. He just wanted to understand that environment and that culture.
Yeah.
He went to a Jewish ceremony and he was invited to one that they let him go in, and and he was really impressed. He just liked the formality. He is a scientist. He's a medical student. So his is about facts and about routine. He almost like structure. With the Christian church, it was a little not structured enough for him. because we're not really structured. We have a very free will way of thinking, where he kind of like more of the structure, and he enjoys the Catholic Church more. He feels better there because of the fact that it's very structured, and it's very, you do this, you do this, you do this. Everything is, and it's ceremony and things like, he liked that. So, but I thought it was interesting when he said he was going to as many different churches as he could, because he just wanted to experience it. And I thought it was, and I got it too, because when I took my religious studies, it was fun. I really enjoyed that. So, but it was cool.
Cool.
But yeah, there's different holidays that are nationally recognized, and it's, it's not just getting a day off of work or school. Look into it, look at it, and see why it's so important to that area, to that community. So, but yeah, Passover, and then Easter's coming this Sunday. That's a big day. That's when most people make their one trip to church, or one of their two trips, Christmas and Easter. That's why my wife and I we go, pretty much every week, and we're like, oh, Sunday, we better get there early, because we have seats that we like to sit at every week, and if we don't get there in time, it's going to be filled up. So, yeah,
that's a day that Jesus was resurrected, and a bunch of rabbits pushed the stone out of the way so he could get out of the tomb.
Yeah, and they left something behind for everybody to find when they came to see him.
Yeah, and there were eggs all over the place, and really, really sore rabbits.
Yeah.
Because rabbits don't normally lay eggs.
No,
but it was a one-day thing, and they all looked very violated. I know it's an exit only, but it's not supposed to exit that big. What? Do you think that's going to send me to hell? No, that's not sending me to hell.
That's not even close.
I've already been on the list for things way worse than that. So, besides my take on biblical fact, you've been chomping at the bit over there. You keep playing a little bit of something. So why don't you actually play something?
I'm like, I
instead of bits and pieces.
I know. I'm just. Sunsets on the ocean, listening to the waves, walking in the sand one more time. Thought I'd always be there, a place that I call home, only home I knew all my life. New start brings a new day, a new home so far away. Driving up a coastline or on a mountain pass, never thought I'd leave this paradise, but the time had come, time to make a change. Didn't have a choice, just couldn't stay. New start brings a new day, new home so far away. So we tried the Midwest, tried to make a change, so different from what we call home. A change of seasons and a change of sights, summer days, star-filled nights. But after a time, just wasn't home, and another change was on the way. New start brings a new day, a new home so far away. Land of enchantment became our new home. It doesn't feel so far away. Loving the sunshine, taste of Mexico, mountains and sands is where we'll stay. Good people and music everywhere we go. The enchanted desert we call home. New start brings a new day. A new home so far away. The land of enchantment now we call home. Brand new start, brand new day.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I feel like doing that one. That one's one of mine, by the way.
Yeah.
I actually had a really good compliment on one of my songs. I forgot. I think it was this one that when I was playing last time. Oh my gosh, who was that by? I went, it's mine. Really? That's
Yeah.
great. I love it. So that was really cool.
Yeah. In Vintage you played that. And
Yeah.
the couple I was
That's
sitting
right.
there, I mentioned it to them and says, yeah, he wrote this. And they're like, what? And all of a sudden
Yeah.
they shut up and they were
Oh,
just
that's
like,
cool.
they were
Yeah.
laser focused on it. Real nice people. Yeah, I freaked them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we were talking and we were talking about a lot of different stuff and at one point I happened to mention, because we were talking about musicians and all our baggage.
Yeah.
We've all got our things, believe it or believe it or not. Actually,
yeah.
believe it.
Yeah.
We're all screwed up in one way or another. It might be something that seems more minor. It might be something that seems more major.
Mhm.
But I was sitting there talking to him, and I mentioned, says, "Yeah, I personally, I suffer from serious, social anxiety." And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You just started coming up and talking to a couple of strangers." Yeah, and I've had to fight it the whole time.
And the funny thing is that you do that because you are in an element that you're comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
You were helping me with my sound. So it's like you had your tablet in your hand and that was
Oh yeah.
you had that distraction to where but if he was just out there by himself, I don't think you'd have talked to him.
Probably not.
If you were just there on a night by himself.
But I also sit there and make jokes in a bunch and
Yeah.
understand when I'm making jokes. Partially it's because, hey, I'm a really funny guy. And if you don't think so, there's something wrong with your sense of humor. But beyond that, it's my defense mechanism.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that is it's funny because there's so many people that you find out when I went through, classes, and it's like you understand that some comedians are so freaking hilarious,
Mhm.
but it is a total defense mechanism. And
Oh, yeah.
off stage, they are a wreck. They get on stage and
absolutely.
they let it out. They're it's defense and they can just let out. But when they get off stage and they can't handle it, Mitch Hedberg was one of them. He was funny, but he had a really bad social anxiety to
Mhm.
the point where he used narcotics to help him cope, and it finally got a hold of him, and he succumbed to it. But that was one of him. You could tell on stage he was not comfortable, but when he was funny as heck though. He had some really good stuff. He was one of those one-liner comedians,
Mhm.
bunch of one-liners, which was, oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you find people like that, and you find musicians that are up on stage and then off stage they're like cower and they don't come out of their house and they're just it's a really interesting.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
some of those musicians are going to be playing in town.
Oh yeah,
How about that?
there we go. Segue.
Let me start with one who's not a local musician because I think it's kind of cool.
Mhm.
April 14th, that's a week after this one.
Mhm.
John Party is going to be coming to Pan American Center.
Wow.
Very cool artist. I got to see him playing out at Isleta before the whole lockdown. Yeah, I'm glad there wasn't a pandemic at that point because I ended up we were packed in so tight that it was hard to move. There were so many people.
Oh my gosh, that would have been a super spreader.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's really good. It's weird when you see this guy, especially before he gets up on stage, because he's got they've got roadies that are setting stuff up, and this one roadie comes out and he's fixing his microphone, and he's got his microphone kind of at his mouth level.
Yeah.
And he opens his mic up and he does this and locks it down. What the hell is he doing?
Right.
John Party comes out and it's at mouth level. This dude, you can't tell from his videos and stuff. This is a big dude, as in
Yeah.
tall. I mean, he's tall as hell. And yeah, but man, he rocked it the whole time. All his songs are fun. They're um I prefer artists that live their songs for the most
Yeah.
part. I kind of hope that he doesn't live his songs quite as much, because if that's the case, he really needs an intervention.
Oh, wow.
Because every one of his songs, for the most part, is a party drinking song,
Oh my
including
gosh.
one song called what's it? What beer can't fix. And it's talking about yeah, beer can fix anything, including your hangover the next day. And I was like, that's a sign of a problem.
Yeah, that's
I was like, dude, one day he'll write a song called Intervention.
yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, what do we have going on? Yeah, let's start out because I don't know if it'll come up elsewhere. But you know who's playing a bunch? And okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm kind of impressed with him right now. Besides the fact that he says really nice things about me, so flattery will get you everywhere with me.
Absolutely.
Dallas David Ochoa,
Yeah, he's busy
who
again.
he went for a period where he wasn't playing anywhere,
Yeah,
and he's gotten back into it, which I'm so happy for.
that's cool.
Because he's awesome, and I've gotten to hear him play with his whole pedal gear setup. I've gotten to hear him play just with his guitar,
Yeah,
and he's awesome no matter what. He's so much fun,
yeah.
and he's incredibly good. He is going to be playing this Friday at 6 p.m. out at Picacho Peak Brewery.
Yep.
He is going to be playing at Pharmacia this Saturday at noon,
Mhm.
and Boneyard Cantina Saturday at 6.
Wow,
So,
that's a lot.
oh my God. I got to say that I'm kind of curious if I'll get to a point where I'm playing 2 gigs in the same day. I don't know.
Can't.
I don't know if I could do it or
I
not.
could
I
barely
don't
do
know what
two
it
gigs
does.
back-to-back days.
I have DJ'd
Yeah,
2 gigs in the same day,
yeah,
and I thought I was going to die.
yeah,
But understand that also involves carrying
yeah.
tons of
That's
heavy
a
equipment
whole
from
lot of setup.
yeah.
You rest during the actual show, and then
Oh yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, people wonder at the second one, well, why aren't you getting out here and visiting with people? I can hardly move right
Yeah,
now.
that's totally it.
Yeah. But yeah, he's staying busy, and I might have to check out one of those.
Yeah.
Boneyard is awesome. Pharmacia, I've never even been into Pharmacia yet.
Neither.
And I know they carry my favorite salsa. Was it LPN?
Okay.
So I do need to check them out anyway.
Yeah.
And Picacho Peak Brewing, we know a little bit about them.
Yeah, we do a little.
We've played out there. We've
Yeah.
I run the open mic, and see, I almost said we run the open mic.
Yeah, I know. I
We
keep
kind of get
saying we. Every
kind of
time
get
I talk,
inclusive.
yeah, because every time I talk about the open mic, I say we, our. I'm like, I gotta stop that. It's his gig.
Well,
I'm just there. That's all.
yeah. Just to give you guys a little bit of insight behind the scenes, believe it or not, BJ and I actually like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't just put on for the show.
No.
We get along. We hang out off of the air.
Yeah.
And we talk about this stuff regularly. We kind of bounce stuff off of each other because we're coming from 2 totally different points of view with music, and that helps to get a fuller image. And we talk about this stuff a lot. So yeah, BJ has been involved in the open mic almost from the very beginning.
Well, yeah.
I think there was one day that you weren't involved in it.
Yeah.
It was the first day I heard about it.
Yeah.
And I'm scrambling to make everything get into place so I can talk to people.
Yeah, it was interesting because he talked about it for over a year, and so I felt like I was kind of a part of it, and it's been a lot of fun.
We had decided that we needed to find either we needed to find somebody to do an open mic, or I was going to do an open mic.
Yeah. Because
we needed one. We didn't have
COVID,
any.
we didn't have any, and there was that. We say it all the time. Before COVID, there was an open mic every night of the week.
Yeah, and a couple were open jams, but the majority of them were open mics.
Right.
And then we lost all of our open mics.
Yeah.
And by the way, I loved what Dwight and Red were doing.
Oh yeah.
But it was an open jam, and while it was awesome, I still missed that open mic feel.
It was also the venue. because the
Mhm.
venue was so big, it had so much room, and Dwight set up for a band.
Well, and Dwight
He had
Dwight
his
had a different attitude than most people do.
it
I learned a
was
lot.
yeah,
The people that I learned the most from for when I do my open mic are going to be Dwight and Red,
yeah,
um, Damian Luna with the one
yeah.
that he did, and Adrian Batista and Dave
Yeah, because
Ogeen.
they were doing it at Icebox. That was one of
Yeah,
the first. I think
that,
that's
that
like
was my
the
very
first time I
first.
went to an open mic.
Yeah.
That's when I met you. The day I met you, we
Mhm.
went to the open mic.
Yeah, the
Um,
only other open mic I'd ever been to was when I was in college, and it was not a music open mic. It was definitely the whole bohemian
yeah,
hippie. Yeah.
there was an open mic. The first one I went to was one. It was called the place called Dublin's,
Hmm.
which is now Wex. There was one there a long time ago, and that's when I was
Yeah,
first starting.
I knew it was there. I just had never gone out to it.
Yeah, I went to it with some friends, and we went, and I was just it was like I was just getting started getting my set list and stuff together. I don't think I'd even done a show yet. When I went to that one, and I went to it twice, and it was really cool. But then when I saw you and you'd mentioned it, my wife was like, "Let's go," and we went down there, and we had such a good time, and it was such a great venue, and I was more prepared and ready for what was, because I'd never done it before. So but when I did it, it was like it was awesome. We had such a good time that day.
Yeah.
What do you find?
I'm gonna have to mark this myself. Truth or Consequences Brewery here in Las Cruces. I know that's weird, but yeah. Um, they are starting something. They're going to have karaoke Thursdays. So the first and third Thursday of every month, starting at 7 o'clock. Nick and Lindsay Williams are going to be running karaoke over there
Okay.
from 7 to 9:30. Sign up begins at 6:30. So yeah, you can get there a little early. You know,
Yeah. That's one of those, okay. You're gonna
karaoke is kind of like the way I run my open mic. I doubt
yeah.
that you have to sign up by a certain time and you can't sign up
Yeah.
anymore.
We're like, show up, sign up. If there's time, we'll get you on.
Yeah.
We're not like, oh, you have to sign up by here or you're not playing.
And I kind of point it out every once in a while because I still have people asking me, he says, well, what time do I have to be there to sign up by? Um, be there before 20 minutes to the end of the night.
Yeah. It's like be
uh,
there in time
yeah,
time for us to play. We'd like be nice if
yeah,
we showed up at least a half an hour before we stop.
yeah. And you want to show up earlier anyway because you want to hear everybody else.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
And it's a good place to come if you want to hear a bunch of different local
Oh
musicians
God,
that you
yes.
may not get to see, because a lot of the ones that some of the people that play are not out playing as much.
No.
Some are. We do have nights where it's like everybody that was there had a show coming up, so they were able to let you know about it. But yeah,
Oh
and then
yeah.
there's a couple people that don't play out and locally, but yet they come to the open mic and play.
Yeah. Some people who are just still on the learning curve side of things,
Yeah.
which is awesome. We had a couple that came out. They're a touring band from New York State, and they came out and they were under the impression there was a mess up in communication,
Yeah.
but they were under the impression that they were going to be playing that Thursday night.
Oh.
They actually had touring T-shirts, and the date was actually on the shirt with the name of the place. They never got upset. They were like, "Well, this is cool. There's an open mic. Says we know what happens. This sort of thing goes on. We're okay with it. We love the fact that we're going to get to hear local artists. And while they played, they had more fun listening to everybody else.
Yeah.
Plus, the one girl in the band, her sister lives here, so she got to see her sister, visit with her, and got her up to play a song, which just tickled the crap out of her.
That's
so
cool. That is so cool.
so yeah. Let's see, Sassy Grass Juice Bar. They are now a dispensary. I saw the sign is up.
Yes.
So they've gotten their license finally taken care of, which it's more than time. They've jumped through so many hoops for so long.
Yeah.
And it's a frustrating process, but they got through it. They are going to be having this Sunday, 2 to 6 p.m., a punk rock mental health recovery workshop.
Oh, wow.
Led by certified peer specialist and punk rocker Gregorio Craig Lewis.
Yeah.
2 to 2:30, Brian Stengel. LSAA CPSW presents I Got My Sharps Card, Why Haven't You? A public speakeasy about harm reduction and saving lives.
Mm,
2:45 to 3:25, Gregorio shares his survival and healing story.
yeah.
3:45 to 4:25, facilitated group discussion. 4:45 to 6 p.m., independent breakout groups and mini presentations.
Oh, wow.
And that's that is Sunday. Yeah. 30-person capacity. Please register in advance so you can find them online. Yeah, go to Sassy Grass and they'll get you the information that you need.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gregorio will have his books available for the workshop. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of cool to see them moving along. Spotted Dog is going to tomorrow at 4 p.m. do their Brutiful collection launch party.
Oh, wow.
So proper toast to 2 limited release brews: Mango Peach Beer de Shen. I'm not sure what that means,
Right.
but it's mango peach if you like mango and peach, and Bourbon Pecan Milk Stout.
Oh, wow.
That sounds really good.
That's up your alley there.
No lie. But yeah, I love this. It's a tale as old as time. Bar cross beverages are set up by well-meaning parents. In this case, Jerry and Susan Grandel of Spotted Dog, along with Marshall and Morgan Switzer McKinley of Old Barrel.
Oh,
As the
wow.
story goes, T wants to meet Beer. Beer meets T. T falls in love. Beer plays hard to get. T wears Beer down after Beer has time to steep on it.
Oh, my gosh.
And then magic happens. A brutiful match was made in artisanal drink heaven, not once but twice.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool. That's going to be tomorrow at Spotted Dog.
That is great.
Yeah. Bosky Brewing is doing their board game night tonight again.
Very cool.
Zia Comics is doing their game night this Saturday at 5 again.
Yes.
Of course, Open Mic is back at NM Vintage. That's Chris,
they
Chris
had one
Baker
day
and the
off
guys.
because I think of illness, so they're
Yeah.
always there Monday. And now it's spring has hit, so yeah.
Now,
And there's on Monday.
what we talk about my open mic
Yeah.
does not apply to others, and NM Vintage Open Mic is definitely one of those.
Yeah.
You need to be there early.
Yeah.
They start, I believe, at
Sign up.
6, but sign up starts at 5 o'clock. So you want to be there at 5 to sign up because they do have a cutoff time, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I haven't actually been out there yet for that one. Mondays are hard.
Yeah. I've been trying for 2 years to make it out there on a Monday, and I still haven't done it. So,
Yeah.
but
Zia Comics is doing their puzzle tournament still.
Yeah.
Sundays at 2. A Billy Free is going to be playing at Grounded this Friday at 7.
mhm.
DJ and vocal set. Weird.
Okay.
Soulful DJ and vocal set. It doesn't say much about who she is. But yeah, A Billy Free is going to be out there. Sturts is going to come out and be playing this Friday at 7:30 at Amador Patio Bar and Grill.
Oh, okay.
Amador is awesome. It's
Yeah.
huge.
It's
Multiple
an event.
sets.
It's an
Yeah.
event play. That's
stages.
like almost the convention center.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people in the entire world
Mhm.
is going to be playing at Les Combs, DH Lacombe Winery and Bistro this Friday at 6. Ali Shea,
Yay.
which Ali made me feel really good when the Lowborn played last month.
Yeah.
She showed up, and she's such a sweetheart, and
Yeah.
she's, she does her own thing, but she's also really good about supporting other people as
Yeah.
well. So I love her to death. Rio Grande Winery this Friday at 6. Tracy and Tina Tuberville are going to be back out. Live classic country music.
Mhm.
I have seen these people. Okay, first of all, Pioneer Park this Saturday at 10 a.m. Easter egg hunt
Very
for
cool.
the kids. Young Park Saturday, April 8th, 11:45 a.m. to 1:45 p.m.
Mhm.
Oh, I know what they're going to be doing it with.
Okay.
Awesome. Boot Boogie Babes, Las Cruces Boot Boogie Babes is going to be performing at Young Park.
Oh.
I got to see these girls perform. Girls, they're older. They're
Yeah.
When I say older women, I guess I have to be careful about my terminology.
Yeah.
They're grown women.
Yeah.
When you say girls, you kind of get an image of the whole teeny bopper thing. These are women
Yeah.
that have gotten together and they've put these routines together. And I got to see them perform. The female veterans of New Mexico
Okay.
did a thing a couple of weeks ago, a presentation out at the Memorial Park, and I got to provide sound for them, so I got to see them perform, and they're very cool. This is Springfest. Springfest. 28th annual greatest Easter egg hunt in the Southwest, fun for the whole family. Dancing bands, not dancing bands, dancing, comma, bands,
Okay.
comma, games, food. That's all one word. No games and food and shopping. Performances start at 11:45 a.m., which is not entirely true.
Ah.
Their performance starts at 11:45 a.m.
Yeah.
If you come a little bit early, say about 10 a.m.,
Yes.
I will be playing out there for an hour.
Yeah.
They're going to have basically bands are going to be playing about an hour long.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be out there at 10 to 11 in the morning. So, if you can pry your eyeballs open in time,
Yeah.
come on out. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know anything about it. I know that they're going to have somebody doing sound, so I don't have to worry about sound, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
That's cool. That's a change.
I don't know who else is playing out there other than Damian Luna is playing at some point. I believe Truman Provencio is playing at some
Yeah.
point.
I
But
can't make it because I've got to do the other job. But
yeah,
yeah.
Originally it was the offer was made for the Lowborn to play,
Yeah.
which just doesn't work out if one of us is busy.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a ton of stuff because of scheduling issues, and you have
Yeah.
more than one person.
Yeah.
But when we get free, yeah, we'll do stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll do stuff, man. So yeah, so that's going on, and like I said, I'll be out there 10 a.m.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can make my fingers move at 10 a.m.
Once you get up there, you'll do it. And it's supposed to be really nice this week.
Yeah.
The weather's supposed to be really nice.
Now this Saturday at 6 p.m.,
Mhm.
DH Lacombe is going to have Era Snow out there.
Yeah.
She's got involved with a group that's doing production stuff, and she's got a video up on YouTube that I watched the other day. This girl is talented.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard her before, but I'd heard people talk about how good she is. Yeah, they're not lying. She's
Yeah.
very good. Jack Hansen is going to be back out at Rio Grande Winery this Saturday at 6. Bless you.
Thank you.
No? Oh, that was
That was.
okay. So karaoke is going to be going on tomorrow at 5 p.m. at Icebox's Hatch location.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they're getting some stuff going. That's pretty awesome. Rotary, this is every Wednesday. So today's meeting at noon. James Narvaez of EBID operations is going to be out there. I got some questions for EBID, so I'll stay away. That's Elephant Butte Irrigation District for anybody who doesn't live here.
Yeah.
They are maddening people. This Friday at 5 p.m. on the Plaza de las Cruces, Fine Arts Flea Market is going to be going on.
Those
So
cool.
yeah, that's kind of cool. You never know who's going to come out there.
Yeah.
And they've got a bunch of local artisans that bring their stuff. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. if you're a hot rodder or a car guy, Las Cruces Cruising Council is going to have their meeting at 7 p.m. out at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. They're getting back into that.
That's cool.
Dusty Lowe is going to be coming out to the game this Saturday at 7. Dusty Lowe is cool. They're very cool. Who else? Bunch of Easter egg hunts throughout the area.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Easter Vigil services. Film Las Cruces this Friday at 6:30. They're still doing their screenwriting workshops. Those are kind of cool sounding. I haven't been to one of those because I don't write screenplays, but it seems like it's kind of a prerequisite.
Yeah.
But who knows? And I think, True Art of the Earth this Saturday at 4 is going to be doing their sound bath and chakra balancing meditation.
Oh, okay.
That's 2411 Calle de San Albino in Mesilla.
Okay.
My chakras could probably use a little bit of alignment. I think they've been a bit skewed to the left lately.
Yeah. While you're doing this, I'm gonna finish right back.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad I found some more events because I was about to say, oh, we're done. So yeah, CMW and the 3W band is going to be playing at the game this Saturday at 7 p.m. Daniel Sanchez is going to be playing at the game Friday at 7. Daniel is awesome. Think the world of that guy too. Cineport. I'm saving this one for BJ because this is too cool. Yeah. Spotted Dog Brewery tomorrow, Thursday at 6:30. They're going to be doing their wet your beak run and ride Spotted Dog style. That's basically the the run or the bike ride, where you cover the course that they set out, and then you come back for beer and food. So everything you burned off, you make up, and there you're back. Good. Because there's one other thing that I wanted to wait until you were here because this caught me off guard. I hadn't seen this. This is awesome. I kind of want to do this. Mario Kart tournament on the big screen.
Oh my gosh.
Now, let me be clear when I say big screen. This is going on at the Cineport 10.
No way. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Registration open for their very first Mario Kart tournament on the big screen at Cineport 10 Theater. Call 575-524-7333 to 7933 to register as a player. Let me do that number again because I screwed it up. 575-524-7933. Register as a player. $10 registration fee. Must be 10 or older to register as a player. Children 12 and under must be accompanied by an adult. Spectators are free. Launchpad Cafe and the concessions will be open. So there's two things. Number one, I want to mark that because I mean I probably won't be joining to play. Although wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be a blast? Oh my god! When I got a hold of my first big screen TV and I played Mario Kart was one of the games. I would play that on that big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. Can you imagine it on a movie screen?
Oh yeah, that's the cool thing. I remember we got a Xbox Connect, and I got this projector from where I worked at. They were getting rid of it, so I took it home and got a big white sheet and put it in the basement, and we had the huge screen. It was awesome. We had so much fun with that.
So yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, I'm not saying that till BJ gets back.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's
I never
cool.
played that, but I never really was into. I had a Nintendo and I had a Sega, and that was it. That's the last gaming system I owned.
Very, very cool. It's so much fun. And by the way, just to point out, Alamo Drafthouse in El Paso. Every once in a while, they do a movie that really catches my my attention, and this is one of them. They do a series called Graveyard Shift.
Cool.
They do horror movies.
Very cool.
This Saturday, at 6:30 p.m., Alamo Drafthouse in El Paso will be playing Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet. I remember.
It is an amazing werewolf movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to be doing the movie along with a graphic novel signing.
Ooh.
A new creator-owned graphic novel called Where, W-H-E-R-E, Werewolf, has come out. Creative team Rob Salcido, who is fairly local. Deborah Lanciani, I always mess her name up, Lancianesi, and Jack Morelli. It's set in a wild world of furry conventions, small town Texas journalism, and werewolf whodunit.
Wow.
I'm curious about this thing. Leading up to the wide release of the book, writer and Graveyard Shift programmer Rob Salcido will tour movie theaters across the country, screening werewolf films and providing an opportunity to purchase the graphic novel early at concurrent signing events. Yeah. The graphic novel. In Werewolf, something scary stalks the streets of Texas, leaving a trail of corpses in its wake. The only person standing in its way is Larry Cheney. A slacker reporter who can't hold a job, can't keep a girlfriend, and can't stop getting in the way of his own career. Larry must must go undercover at a local furry convention
Oh my
where he has
gosh.
had hope. Where he has if he has any hope of stopping the beast, dead set on turning the gathered attendees into an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Mm.
Graphic novel is a love letter to werewolf fans, with an irreverent bend that takes decades of lycanthropic lore to new heights and surprising places. Where when darkness fall, terror rises. Wow. So this is cool. And of course, they talk about Silver Bullet. This is the only Stephen King movie in history that features a werewolf beating someone to death with a baseball bat. Twice.
Wow.
Yeah, Gary Busey. This tells you the age of the movie. Gary Busey,
Mhm.
Corey Haim in this thing.
Mhm.
Carlo Rambaldi from Alien, and Jay Chataway from Maniac are all in this movie. It's a wrong movie.
Wow.
Just wait until you hear Busey yell, "Holy jumped up, bald headed Jesus Palomino!"
Oh wow.
Yes, he says it.
That's great.
Along with quote, "God damn it, why don't you eat a rat poison omelet?"
Oh my gosh.
Okay, it's not the best movie ever made, but it's so much fun, and I love it. That's the sort of horror movie I enjoy. I've had these conversations with Dallas David Ochoa. He's um, a horror fan,
Yeah.
and he actually has pictures of him dressed up like Michael Myers.
Oh my. Yeah, he went
Uh,
around town. He was around town last Halloween
well,
or
he's
Halloween
he's
before.
not the guy that kept doing the appearances. Apparently,
Oh,
that's a
okay.
different guy.
Oh, because I
But
know he did a few
yeah,
places.
Dallas's fiance is a photographer,
Oh,
and they
okay.
were doing photo shoots with people. So yeah, he was doing photo shoots with individuals or families.
Oh wow.
There's one with him with this little girl that's just fascinated by him.
That's so
I was
funny.
like, that's just awesome. But yeah, we talk horror movies there once when we get together.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, there's apparently some good stuff coming out anyway.
Mm,
Um,
I wouldn't know.
oh, I love a good horror movie.
Yeah.
I'm not a big slasher fan.
Okay.
Slasher movies are just like,
Yeah.
if I want to see that, I'll go down to El Paso, the West Side.
Yeah.
But but no, yeah, give me a good supernatural movie.
Hmm.
I actually sat there. I've watched a bunch of the Conjuring universe movies. The Conjuring movies themselves are really good. They're all based
Right.
on true stories.
Okay.
And they follow a couple that they actually do this one. They're investigators, and they've been known to have to do an exorcism or two. They're actually tied in directly to the Catholic Church,
Oh,
and they've taken a bunch of their stuff. The Conjuring movies, Annabelle, about the doll. Um, by the way, the real doll is scarier than the one on the screen because it's a porcelain doll with his face. It looks creepy. The real doll is an old school Raggedy Ann doll. That's creepy to be demonically possessed.
yeah.
um, I just finished watching The Nun finally because the second one is coming out. Creepy,
Hmm.
so good. I don't know. I like the little endorphin rush from a good horror movie, and I like the fun of a bad horror movie. I love B movies. So one of these days I may have to abduct you and bring you over here, and we'll just watch bad movies.
Oh my gosh.
Bad movies are so much fun to watch with a group of
Yeah.
friends, especially
Yeah.
if there's alcohol involved.
Yeah. Then it makes it more tolerable.
Oh yeah. Oh, it gets fun. It gets fun. And I do have one that I still haven't watched. I own it, but I haven't watched it yet. And I know you haven't seen it. Is Studio 666?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters sitting there
Yeah.
screwing around for 2 hours. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's about all that's going on here locally.
I have I'll be at
Oh, that's right.
I'll be at Don Felix this Friday afternoon from 1 to 4.
I don't know why you didn't come up.
Yeah, I have it
Um,
up there, but yeah, it's okay. But yeah, and then next Sunday I've got one and in Vintage. So
mhm.
yeah, still hopefully there'll be more, but
So
that's
Don
what it
Felix is what time?
1 to 4.
On-
They changed their hours on Friday,
On
this
Friday.
Friday afternoon. It's funny though because Last time I played was the 1 to 4 on a Friday afternoon, and I actually had a bigger crowd than I had in the previous 3 shows that I did on a Friday night. So
Mhm.
I guess I don't know. It's working. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be my next one. Then next Sunday. So by the way, I'll need to borrow your system.
Oh yeah, we'll be doing some back and forth on
Still
that.
don't have a word on getting mine fixed.
Yeah.
He's trying to. Apparently, mine's almost impossible to find parts for. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, you know, it is what it is,
yeah,
and we'll go a step through it. Yeah, I'm there for you,
so,
man.
cool.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, the nice thing is, um, when I'm not using my system, the only thing that I use it for around the house, whenever I'm not playing anywhere, is surround sound on my TV.
Yeah. So I got it. So that's why I'm like, I can't make him go a whole. It's like, oh, I could pick it up, like pick it up. No, I'm
Oh,
gonna come by before this gig and then drop it off right after, so that he can watch his
oh,
movies that night.
no, the only things that I really need surround sound for are Wednesdays,
Oh,
because new episode of Mandalorian,
that's true. Yeah.
and then Thursdays, new episode of Picard.
Okay.
Everything else, sound isn't that big a deal.
Yeah. I've been watching The Mandalorian. It's this is a good season.
Oh yeah,
This
oh
is
yeah.
good. This is really good.
And I have gotten into, apparently Pedro Pascal is just playing really awkward father figures right now, because
Yeah.
I've been getting into The Last of Us on HBO.
Oh,
And
really?
whoa.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a huge zombie fan. Zombies are cool, but for some reason people thought they were cooler than vampires for a while, and those people were all wrong. I could go into the details, but the zombie people wouldn't get it. They just don't have the brains for it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. No,
Yeah, I was talking about The Mandalorian. It was so good. It's like too bad the people that are writing The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, and
mhm.
they couldn't have written the prequel to the Star Wars movies.
Well, the thing is, I think there's a lot more weight to what's going on
Yeah.
Disney Plus right now for Star Wars.
Apparently, another season of Book of Boba Fett is coming.
Mhm.
So it's like I still haven't seen Andor.
Andor is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't
Get
seen
ready
it.
to slog through the first few episodes.
Yeah,
Everybody that I've talked to says the same thing when they start watching it. God, it's hard to watch.
yeah,
And then you hit a point and it's like, wait a minute,
yeah.
this is really good. And I'm in agreement with, I'm part of the choir now.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis has earned the right to use his face in any role he gets now. Yeah, he was known as the screen capture guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he played the main ape in the Planet of the Apes remake
Okay.
movies. He's played Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
All sorts of behind the scenes stuff, and he got to play him. You get to actually be on screen in one of the Avengers movies, but he's in Andor, and he's really good, really good.
That's cool.
He's an amazing actor and a really nice guy. I've watched interviews with him. I was like, oh my god, this is a real person.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
great.
And lots of Star Wars coming, so you'll be happy.
Yeah, I'll be happy because that's one area where my nerd comes out.
I don't know what exactly is happening, what it will be, but there was originally going to be a some sort of a Star Wars Rangers show.
Mm.
It probably will not come out the way they originally envisioned it, but it looks like it's going to come in some form. Of course, Ahsoka is coming. Oh,
Ahsoka.
and they have been okay. We got to get you to sit down and watch some of the animated.
Yeah, because I missed it.
Because Ahsoka is
Yeah.
awesome. You
Okay.
saw her in some of the Mandalorian. She's
Oh.
she looks like a Twi'lek, but she's not. I forget her race. But she's the Jedi with the, well, she's not a Jedi, but she carries the 2 lightsabers.
Oh, okay.
She
got
actually
it.
left the Order just before
Right.
the end of everything.
Okay.
And yeah, she's an amazing character. And it's hard because I feel like I have to explain it to certain Star Wars fans,
Mhm.
because the Star Wars fans who've only watched live action are missing out on certain story things they keep pointing out. Now that you're caught up with Mandalorian, there's a bit in a couple episodes back where
Mhm.
they're in hyperspace and Grogu is looking out and sees these shapes
Yeah.
that are going with them. It's basically these space whales that they travel at warp. They travel at light speed,
Mm.
hyperspeed, or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Light speed.
get the right stuff. but that came up in the Star Wars Rebels series.
Mm.
It's what's going on with Ahsoka. She's talking about
Oh.
looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn. Well, there's a reason she's looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's not because of Thrawn. It's because of who shot himself into hyperspace with him to save everybody is another missing Jedi
Oh, wow.
that she promised that she would do everything she could to bring him back.
Mm.
So that's what's going on. But the thing is, I don't know how much, because they do okay sometimes with doing some exposition, let you know what's going on, and other stuff they just kind of throw at you, and you're like,
Yeah.
This last episode of Mandalorian, they actually had a character come up that was from Rebels, and you got to see him live action, and it's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, there's only a certain amount of people that are going to get that.
Mhm.
Of course, there's also the fact that there's a bar scene with a bunch of people sitting at the bar, a bunch of humans sitting at the bar. It's the creative cast, the creative crew for Mandalorian.
Oh, how
They're sitting there having a
cool.
drink. They put themselves in it, including Dave Filoni with his hat on.
Gosh, that's
But if
fun.
you don't know what you're looking at, even if you know who they are and what
Yeah.
you're looking at, you're probably gonna miss them
Cool.
because it's a to the side thing. It's not a major thing.
Yeah, it's one of those
Which
things you catch and then
yeah.
you find out about later.
Those are the kind of the Easter eggs that I love.
Yeah.
There's the other Easter egg. Since you caught up, you saw the Jedi that saved Grogu in one of the flashbacks, the Black Jedi.
Right. Okay.
You've seen him before on screen.
Uh-huh.
He's the actor that played Jar Jar Binks. So he kind of got to
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, I didn't
save
know
a little
that.
face
I did not know that.
and show a little face.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are two shows I've got to have surround sound for.
Yeah.
Because yeah, space opera stuff.
Yeah.
That's my jam. More than the horror, although
There you go.
good horror is always a good thing.
I'm not a horror fan, so.
Oh God,
Yeah.
you just haven't found your thing.
No,
There's
I'm pretty sure I won't.
yeah, I almost said you haven't found your kink yet. Yeah, there's so many different. It's kind of accurate. There's so many different types of horror stuff out there, and you
Yeah.
probably like some horror and don't even realize that it's horror.
Oh, that's true.
You're probably thinking of it more as suspense, which there's a crossover thing there.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's you just got to find your thing. It's one of these genres that's just huge, and man, I would love to get somebody on the show who's into that more and go over some of the stuff, because that's nerdy as hell,
That is.
and very cool. So yeah, so we just went off on a rant about
Yeah.
horror movies and sci-fi
Mhm.
and back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else have we got to talk about?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Again, mentioning it again. Open mic. Culture
Yeah,
Peak Brewery on Thursday night, tomorrow night.
it's been so much fun.
Yeah.
And I just put up a video. I'll be putting a link on
Yeah.
Facebook to it. We go back and forth, so
Mhm.
we'll have nights that they're really packed.
Yeah.
By the way, even when they're packed, if you come late, I will make sure that you get fit in.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody's cool with it. When I start saying, okay, we're gonna have to drop back how many songs you're doing, nobody freaks out. Nobody gets like, well, the person before me got to do this many songs. Why can't I do this many? We don't get that. Don't get that at all.
Yeah.
We get people saying, that's cool. That's great. So I'm gonna get to play, and then I get to hear him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just one of those crowds that
Yeah.
and I've got my theories about it that unfortunately right now the way I'm getting my theory about the music scene out here is a little bit offensive to some people, I think. So I won't be sharing it publicly yet,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of getting a feel for what the scene is. And there's
Yeah.
a big group of musicians out
Mhm.
here that as much as they love to play, they love to support everybody
Yeah.
else. And it creates a family atmosphere.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Um,
And it needs to, because there's fewer venues to go around, there's fewer shows to play. So there's
yeah.
certain people that are the favorites, and
There is that.
so there's even fewer for some. To break into it is very difficult.
Now,
For some reason, if you say you're from out of town, venues jump at that.
yeah.
For some reason, because I noticed a lot of new faces are playing like crazy, where it's people have been here, trying for 2 or 3 years. not as much.
It's a weird thing, and it goes back and
Yeah.
forth, and it's
Yeah.
like a pendulum that'll swing back and forth
Yeah.
as you go along. I do have to say that, like I say, one of my favorite people in the world, Ellie Shea.
Mhm.
When I first started doing the open mic, she almost made me cry with a text message that she sent me
Mhm.
right after. We're getting calls.
Yeah.
Right after we started, I think we were 2 or 3 in, and she came out and played. It was the first time that she'd come out. She'd been trying to, and she, hadn't been able to make it, which happens.
Right.
She finally made it out. And that night I got a text message from her, and I couldn't respond to it till the next day
Mhm.
because I read it 7 or 8 times
Yeah.
and just took some time and absorbed the thing because she thanked me, told me how much of a good time that she had at it. And this is part of the thing that I didn't even realize I was striving for, but it is something I was striving for. She told me, says, I felt seen and heard. And I was like, she's not talking about just playing. She's talking about more than that. And it's like, that's part of what I want to focus on with the open mic. And I think I've done a pretty
Yeah.
good job of that. There are times that, especially when it's not super packed and we're trying to get
Mhm.
everybody in, where we can have a more casual approach. And I've got people that do it now. I started it, and
Mhm.
now there's a bunch of people that'll do it. Hey, what's your guitar? What are you playing there?
Yeah.
Or what's the story behind that song? Because sometimes, especially with songwriters,
Yeah.
that's part of the thing.
Mhm.
And it's kind of nice that we're in an environment that, quite frankly, Picacho Peak has never been a stickler about you must end by this time.
Yeah.
So we've got some leeway, and we can have those conversations, which is cool.
Yeah.
And you get to know people.
Type your address in there real quick. So I drove my daughter's
Uh,
my son-in-law's truck to here because so my daughter could take our car to go to El Paso because he drives a big Hemi and it's better on gas if she takes a car. But I have that key that she needs to get into the house, so she needs to stop by and grab that. So I just need to get his address so that she could stop by.
okay.
So anyway,
I put in the address for the Dunkin' Donuts down the street.
there we go.
I found a show on YouTube that I started watching called The Game.
Oh,
The Game? That's not right.
wait, that's a different show.
What was the name of that thing? Oh, it helps as if I get on the right channel.
Yeah.
What was the name of that? Yeah, here's a wonderful thing is I can just go back and forth. Yeah, I've been on the Enchantment Broadcasting YouTube channel because I've been uploading that video. Yeah, entertainment. There we go. YouTube. So what was this? The show is cool. History. Great thing great way to cheat.
Yeah.
The Party. The Party is the name of this show.
Oh, okay.
It's very cool. It's a little short comedy show that these people are putting together, and nobody's done this in a while. But also, I'm seeing some people doing this again. They're doing their own little episodic shows, and this is basically following this really awkward girl who's in college. She's I think it's a sociology degree that she's working for. She gives her thesis to her handler, whatever whatever, yeah, her
Yeah.
PA, and he basically tells her, no, that's not going to work. That's no good. Nobody's going to like that. It's boring. It's above people, and he's like, well, you got to have other ideas, otherwise, why are you even in the program? And she panics. Well, her new roommate and her friends have been playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my gosh.
So she decides she's going to do her thesis on that, and she ends up joining the game knowing nothing about it, and she's learning as she goes. And it's cute and it's funny, and it's kind of neat to watch these people that they're a bunch of them. I think this is one of their first forays into acting,
Right.
and they're jumping into the series and doing it themselves, which is
Oh, man.
awesome. But yeah, I had a point to that and I forget what it was, so I'll just leave it by saying really cool show.
Really cool show. Yeah.
There was a point to something you said, but that was a while back, and I don't remember what you said.
I forgot now.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah.
whole thing with the address.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so they've got a whole bunch of different types of people. One of the girls on this show, She's the cool aloof type, and they're talking about, says, oh my God, if we have to do it somewhere else. And she's like, they're asking, can we do it at your house? My house is messy. I've got this going on over here. And the one gal, they say, well, could we do it at your house? And she says, I don't give my address out to people that I don't know that well. And they're like, we've been playing this game together for over a year. And she says, that's what I mean. I don't know you that well.
That's good.
So I was like, oh, that's just so great.
That's
wow.
funny.
I got out of the events thing and on Facebook, and I came up with this deal for Amazon. A little laser engraver they're selling. I just got to share the. I got to share the name of it for one reason only. Okay. The name of it is the Laserpecker 1 Pro.
Okay, they did not think that through.
Not really, no.
At no point at any time did somebody say, you know what, this doesn't sound right.
Yep. Yeah, Laserpecker. I don't know, it makes a point. Oh
my gosh.
Also, this Saturday at 7:30, by the way, in Vintage. I think this kind of dropped yesterday. Yesterday? Okay. Yeah, yesterday, last night, pretty late. Damian Luna is going to be playing out in Vintage doing Country Tex-Mex.
Very cool.
And this is just his regular post. Yeah. He did one last night that I saw where he talked about come out with me and we'll make some guacamole.
Oh my gosh. So I saw that and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be playing that song because that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot about that. He just barely posted that up.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's kind of cool. Yeah. We've got some cool musicians here in town.
Yeah.
So that's about all that's going on. I'm sure there's other stuff, but if I don't see it, I don't know about it.
Exactly. Let us know.
Yeah. No pictures, didn't happen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Your turn.
For what?
Play some.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. I should never mumble. What I said was, oh, shit. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you do. You got more songs to choose from than I do.
I hope this is in tune because I'm not going to tune it.
Oh. Sounds pretty good.
I love this thing.
I know.
It was so fun to watch people playing this the other night.
And just be like, what the heck? Change your mind?
I don't know. I'm not ready to play that one yet. My neighbor's grass is ahead of the street. That don't mean mine ain't just green. I've been comparing shiny new toys. It's just the root of the thief of my joy. I know that's just the pony show. 'Cause I got a roof over my head. I got a warm body in bed, doing all right, right where I'm at, with what I have. I bought the shoes where the bottoms is red. Who the hell am I trying to impress? When you sit back, that's when you notice Joneses can't even keep up with the Joneses. I know, don't try to shine to be gold. 'Cause I got a roof over my head. I got a warm body in bed, doing all right, right where I'm at, with what I have. I got a Jeep, I got a dog, I got what they call a dream job. plenty to want. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm happy with what I have. I got good air, good eyes to see, got so much more than I'll ever need. Even the bad days ain't all that bad with what I have. Doing all right, right where I'm at with what I have.
Very cool.
Kelsey Ballerini.
Yeah,
I adore that girl.
that's cool.
So yeah, I'm still playing with that one, but
Yeah,
that's a fun little song,
yeah.
and it's not my brand.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I've got some upbeat songs that I'm
Yeah.
working on. I've also got some that aren't. So
Yeah.
you know, whatever
He's
your
got a
taste
mix
is.
of everything. But actually, no, you don't, because you're like, there's not a whole lot of gray area.
I've written one love song. For the most part, I agree with Ashley McBride. She made a statement at a show one time. She says, I don't write love songs. Says, that's probably better for me. It's definitely better for you guys.
Was it a lot? The joke was Alanis Morissette. She, found a really good relationship and she was really happy, and her songwriting tanked.
Oh yeah. I would argue her songwriting wasn't that great to begin with,
True
but you know.
Point. But it's like it's like the happy songs just didn't work.
I think she really needed to get a dictionary and learn the meaning of the word ironic.
Yeah.
Because I'm a writer first and foremost.
Mhm.
It's a pet peeve when people use words that are so far wrong,
You
or
keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
or there's other words that I don't care who you are, you shouldn't use that word irregardless. God, I hate that word.
How do you fit that in a song?
Oh God, I want to. I so want to. Wouldn't that be awesome?
This is a song just to say irregardless. It's like, only reason I'm doing it is because I wanted to say that word.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually working on a second love song titled Cliche.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can tell that I'm not taking anything too seriously like that.
I don't know. I had a line. One of the songs that I wrote was totally around one line that
Mhm.
came to my head, and I went, okay, I got to write a song about this. So,
Oh yeah.
So I did it, but I thought it worked better.
It happens. I actually wrote roulette radio around one phrase because I'd had the concept in my head, but nothing worked. It's like, oh, that sounds stupid. Oh, that sounds stupid. That sounds dumber than the other two. Oh my God, what the hell is wrong with me? And then I was in the car one time, and I just it was an older vehicle I was driving at the time, and I hated what was on the radio, and I was in a mood, and I just reached down. It was the dial, and I just spun the dial, and I was like, oh crap, there it is. By the way, it did not come up on a good song. It came up on some staticky station out of Juarez that you couldn't even hear what was going on. So,
but it was it's funny how you do that, because back in early on, I was influenced by Kiss, and then when I became a teenager, I was 12, 13. I started breakdancing, and I was totally into hip hop music. And then around 91, I started getting tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't the same anymore. It wasn't as fun. It started getting into gangsta. So I was sitting, and I was a security guard at the time, staring at a back parking lot, and I got just like, I was listening to Top 40 and it was like same songs over and over again. It's like, forget it. So I started going down the dial, and all of a sudden I hit a station, and I hear a guitar. I've always had a fascination with guitars. 1984, Panama came out. Didn't matter what kind of music you like. That was a great song for everybody. Everybody loved that song.
Almost everybody.
Well, yeah. But then all of a sudden I'm hearing this sound, and I'm like, this is freaking awesome. And I listened, and it was a new station in LA called Pirate Radio, which was all rock.
Mm-hmm.
And the song happened to be Runaround by Van Halen. I went out and bought the album. That was it. I was totally into rock after that. And some people were surprised. So some people, when they hear me play, they're like, I didn't know you liked that kind of music. I'm like, I liked a lot of different things.
Oh yeah.
When I was in junior high, it wasn't hip hop; it was R&B. Because I'm like the older school, the older R&B music that I really liked.
Hmm.
And then the rap came out. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that was different. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
for the most part, the music I didn't like. There were other reasons in the music that I didn't like it.
Mhm.
Um, Either I was surrounded by people who were kind of snobbish about music, and you have to like this or and
Oh
nothing
yeah, or
else.
we can't be friends.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was like, yeah, well, screw you.
you were.
Um,
Yeah, in the '80s. Well, in Southern California, '80s, you were defined by the music you listened
oh
to.
yeah, that it's actually a fairly new thing that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've talked about this before. You too.
Mhm.
I couldn't listen to you too because of oversaturation. Everybody
Yeah.
was playing you too.
So sick of
Same
it.
thing with, and I still okay. Huey Lewis is pretty close to a musical genius.
Mhm.
Huey Lewis and the News, amazing band.
Mhm.
I cannot listen to the album Sports, and there's a reason
Oh,
for that.
yeah.
I went on a road trip. Yeah, we got some time to kill. I went on a road trip to Dallas Fort Worth
Mhm.
with a group of friends, and we were in a van. We were in a van that it had a radio and it had a tape deck. Yeah, it tells you how long ago that was.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But of course, you hit a certain point on that road into to Texas, through Lubbock and all that crap,
Yeah.
and there's just nothing out there. There's no radio stations out there either.
Mm-mm.
Everybody was a little short-sighted. Nobody had brought any albums to listen to except for one guy. I have some music. Okay, what have you got? Let's choose something. Oh, I have one cassette. Huey Lewis and the News Sports. So we listened to it over and over and
It's a
over again because there was nothing else.
10-hour drive,
Oh yeah.
folks.
Do you want to go a little insane? Yeah, that'll do it.
That, it's for me, it's the song Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of that song.
Well, that was the one that actually got radio play. I
Yeah.
think it was their first one that ever got radio play.
Well, my parents
mainstream.
had one of those compilation albums that
Mm.
they put out many times, and that song was on it. And I played it
Yeah.
over and over. And then it got popular on the radio. So I heard it over and over. And at first it was great because I loved Kiss and I wanted to hear it on the radio, and you didn't
Mhm.
get to hear them. Even to this day, it's like, I'll skip that song.
Yeah. I'm very happy that we've gotten to a point that I'm not really sure how radio stations stay in business.
Yeah.
Um,
With satellite and
because oh my
because
god,
you
yeah, and they haven't changed their format.
yeah.
They take whatever's the most popular handful of songs and they play them to
Yeah.
death.
Unless you hear on 98.7 here in town, you get to Alice Cooper's show.
Yeah, but
That is
that's
freaking cool, man.
and there's a few shows like that. There's
Yeah.
specialty shows. There's one on Sunday mornings. And I don't know who's doing it now. On a 101 Gold, that
Oh,
they
yeah.
they play all lowrider oldies,
Yeah.
and those are just awesome songs. But yeah, for the most part, though, yeah, you're not going to hear that sort of
That's
stuff.
what because Alice Cooper will tell stories,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not, and most of them he heard them firsthand.
Yeah.
Not through news reports or reading an
Or he was
article
there.
or seeing an interview. Yeah, he was either there or he talked to the guy who it happened to, and he
Oh,
told
yeah.
him the story himself. That's and he's a funny guy too. He is really funny.
Oh yeah.
And he'll tell you if it's something he read or if he heard. He goes, I talked to, and we're sitting there going, dang, it's like firsthand account,
Yeah.
He has
yeah.
he has a lot of great stories. He's like, I have lots of stories, but I'm not sure statute of limitations has run out on most of them, so I'm gonna hold off. I love that.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Ellis is awesome.
He is
Very
He's
awesome.
great. Coolest guy in the world too.
Oh yeah.
I've
And,
seen
I-
many talk shows where he was on, and oh gosh, he's just funny.
I got to see the very last Street Fest they did in El Paso before the lockdowns happened,
Yeah.
and they haven't done a Street Fest since. But the last one they did, Alice Cooper was a headliner, and we got VIP tickets. We were like, I think for Alice, it's worth the extra money.
Yeah.
So we're watching this guy. He is no spring chicken.
Mm.
When he starts hitting it, you can't tell a difference between his performance today and his performance 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He brings
Well,
it.
there's a video that you turned me on to for a concert he did like
Yeah.
last year or the year before,
Mhm.
and he's got
And that was when Nita Strauss was still with the band.
she's back.
Yes, she is.
She's back.
I meant to send you. They've
Yeah.
done a single together.
Yeah. I was hearing he was talking about it. He said Nita Strauss just told him, I want to do something. And he's like, girl, go do it. Do
Yeah.
your thing, man. Go ahead. Then his buddy from the Constrictor tour, I can't remember his name, he came back and played guitar for him for a little while. And then, Nita said, well, I'm done. If you're, come on, honey, let's go. And he was like, let's do it, girl. Come on.
By the way, gotta say, the album that she did with Demi Lovato is cool. Amazingly good. Demi Lovato broke all pop rules by putting the spotlight so much on the guitarist.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got Nita Strauss in the band, I don't care if you're doing classical quartet music.
Yeah.
You put the emphasis on the electric guitar all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Plus, Demi Lovato started learning guitar.
Yeah.
And she was playing some of the stuff too. So yeah, she kind of picked up on it. And that album it's still Demi Lovato, but it's very rock and it works really well.
That's cool.
So I'm glad to see her back. Yeah, she's got a single out with Alice. That's really really cool.
And he played part of it. I think he played the song. I let her part of it. It was just she's Nita Strauss is definitely making her way, making her own little niche in there, because people are starting to she's becoming very highly respected and deservedly so.
Oh yeah.
And what gets me is that she did there's a video on YouTube about her gear rig, a Boss GT 1000. She doesn't even play through an amp.
No,
she plays through a little processor like I have that I use and like you use. Hers is like the $1,000 one, but that's all. She uses that and it sounds freaking awesome. It is really cool. She went through the whole thing, how she set up her pedal, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's all she uses. I have a feeling it's like, is that going to become the norm? Because with a lot of solo musicians like us, we can't carry around an amp anymore. There are some guys that still do it. I still look back at Sage Gentlewing, a local musician. He's old school. He's got a rig that has pedals that are routed a certain way with an amp and speakers that are routed a certain way. The guy's got cables everywhere. After he finished his gig, I was hanging out to talk with him and I asked him if I can help him. And he goes, actually, he puts his gear away a certain way. So he's like, appreciate it, but I got it. I said, I get it. And we're talking for a good 20 minutes. And the whole time he's rolling up cables the whole time. And I'm sitting there going, wow. He comes to see me play. I had 4.
Oh yeah.
And he's looking at he's staring at the ground, just kind of looking back and forth. And he's got this, kind of a weird smile. And he looks at me and goes, I admire the simplicity of your setup. And he's looking around. He goes, I can't do it.
Well,
I get there an hour because I like to set up and then sit for a while. And sometimes I'm sitting for a good 45 minutes. He needs at least an hour to set up.
Yeah.
And that's when he only has 2 minutes to sit there, tune and play.
Oh yeah. Well, when we played as a lowborn out at Picacho Peak last month, the actual audio cables on the ground for 4 of us.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Because he used his wireless mics.
Or for 3 of us, I mean.
For 3 of us. And we had 3 guitars and 3 mics.
You were mic'd. You had a cable to yours.
Yeah, because
the
I
other
brought mine.
Was wireless up ahead.
Yeah.
And so it was a real small setup. It's gotten easy to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that it seems what I'm seeing is a lot of guitarists who use pedals. I won't say rely on pedals, because I think some people do. Some people, that's just what they do.
Yeah.
You got, if you want a specific sound, you got to do what it takes to get that sound. But I've seen a lot of these people that use a lot of pedals. They're doing a lot more stuff where they're paring it back.
Yeah.
And I think it's just to get a different sound and to try something different. Like I say, I've seen Dallas play with no pedals.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting to watch because I get the feeling maybe he feels a little bit naked when he's doing it.
That's possible.
He sounds great.
Yeah.
But he sounds great either way.
Yeah. for me, I have acoustic. I went back. I was playing just my electric and then using acoustic simulator, but I think the visual got better when I played I was asked to play my acoustic for the wedding reception. And when I did that, I started practicing more with it. I ended up just using my electric because I didn't have room to play both, but it got me back to thinking I should go back to it. And I went back to bringing my acoustic, playing first half with the acoustic, second half of the electric.
Mm-hmm.
And only because some of the songs that I do, I like the sound out of my pedal board.
Yeah.
For that. I honestly want to get to a point where I can play my acoustic. I can't, my hands do not like me after about, it's like, I can almost hear my hands say, thank you when I switch to my electric.
Yeah. Well, you'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm already there because I've never been an electric guy.
Not done his electric. No. And that is so
it's a little rough.
Give me a quick second. Play something real quick, and then we'll be done.
By the way, Anita Strauss and Alice Cooper, the name of the song is Winner Takes All.
Yes.
So, yeah, brand new. I couldn't remember the name of it because it is brand new. Don't do that in my yard. When he comes back in and realizes I said that on the air, he's going to be a little bit like, what's wrong with you? Okay, well, since he left me with you guys, let me get to the right page, and I will play something for y'all, and then we'll be done for the day. Okay. Jimmy's in the back with a pocket of high. If you listen close, you can hear him cry. Judy's in the front seat picking up trash. Living on the dough, gotta make that cash. Won't be pretty, won't be sweet. She's just there on her feet. Oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below, way down below, way down below. I've had better days, man. I've had better days. I've had better days, man. I've known better ways. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The devil knocking at your door. Caught in the eye of a dead man's wife. Start your life with your head up high. Now you're on your knees with your head down low. Big man tells you where to go. Tell him it's good, tell him okay. Don't do a goddamn thing they say. Oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below, way down below, way down below. I've seen better days, man. I've known better ways. I've seen better days, man. I've known better ways. Jenny's in the back with a pocket of high. If you listen close, you can hear the crying. Oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below, way down below, way down below. Oh Lord, tell us so, we belong way down below. Oh Lord, tell us so, we belong way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below.
That's good. That is good.
Pretty reckless, man.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end it, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And
Good to see everybody, and we'll come check me out on Friday afternoon, 1 to 4. On Saturday, check him out,
Young Park at 10 to 1,
10 to 1. And
which sounds like odds in a betting
yeah,
pool.
exactly.
So.
All
But
right.
yeah, and of course, Thursday night, if you're available, come on
Yes,
out
come
to
out.
open mic at Picacho Peak Brewery. It's
It'll be
a lot of fun. Great beers. They've got wines. If you're not a beer person, they're all local wines.
Yeah.
They have unbelievable food, which
Yeah,
I've
food's
had
really
tons
good.
of now. Their pizzas, I believe, are like 11 or 11.50 for a
Yeah,
3-topping pizza,
that's
and
cool.
they're big pizzas.
Yeah.
Or their burgers are buy one get a second one half price.
There we go.
So it's real good for a date night out, or
Yeah.
for coming out with family. It saves you some money if you're bringing your family out somewhere. It's not quite
Yeah.
as expensive as other places.
I hear you.
And I've had a bunch of the other stuff on their menu. Their fish and chips,
Yeah.
really, really good. Their wings.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They don't use wet sauces for them. They use dry rubs.
Oh,
So
wow.
their lemon pepper wings
Yeah.
are amazing. And while they're still a little bit greasy and messy, they're not as bad as some other places.
No, some places where you can't. You gotta like walk like a surgeon to the.
And
try and wash your hands.
quite frankly, as you get older, you find out that eating a whole bunch of grease,
Yeah.
like going to Wingstop for wings,
Yeah.
a little bit later, you're going to feel that in your tummy. It's going to let you know it's not happy. I didn't have that experience with their wings, because
cool.
they had some grease on them, because they do fry them.
Yeah.
It wasn't super bad. So and then they're damn good.
That's
really,
cool.
really good. So yeah, come on out and join us and hang out, and either play a little bit or listen a lot. And yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you then.
Yeah, we've got our comedian that'll be out there. He is getting ready to go visit some family, and he's going to try and get on stage somewhere and do his comic routine in Phoenix.
Very cool.
Kind of a big deal.
Very cool.
He started with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
All right.
I think that's it.
Take care, everyone.
You guys have a good day, and we'll see you next week.